Have you ever been hyped for a game and it comes out being a massive disappointment? Yeah, me and Sonic Front Forces really had it in. Now, don't get me wrong, I when I first saw the trailer for this game, I was hyped. This is my first introduction to a Sonic game besides well, this is my first Sonic game on the Switch I bought. I bought this during around Christmas time. And the make your own character is a really good idea too. To Eggman winning the war. Sorry, hang on a minute, I'm very tired. Eggman fighting, and it's really just Eggman. Fuck you know, Eggman winning the war. Eggman's winning a war, and he's actually taking over the world, which I actually do like. I like stories where the villains take over, and then your job, and then the trailer dropped a Shadow, Metal Sonic, Zavok, Chaos, all for returning, and then Sonic sees a new threat who is Infinite. This got everybody hyped to the fucking brim. And when it came out, it was a disappointment. So our scene starts off with Eggman saying Sonic how I hate him, and he has made a new threat Infinite. Or made. Didn't make? Yeah, the story makes him. The story does not make it clear if Infinite's a fucking machine or a fucking normal character. But the game sucks. Like legit, the story is a shit. They literally pull the biggest fuck you. You. Now hang on a minute. Where is it? It's this opening bit where Sonic's about to take down where Sonic saves everyone, which is actually interesting to see animals instead of humans. And Eggman and Sonic are about to have a fight, but then all of a sudden Shadow comes in, stopping him, but he does glitch out for some reason. Ooh, I wonder why. Zavok 2, Chaos, and Metal Sonic. These four were finally returning, and everybody was glad. And then we meet Infinite. And then we find out that he is faster than Sonic. Uh, I thought we already established Shadow being the fastest. Like, am I the only one who didn't get that at first? So then they all decide to whip his fucking ass. One, two, three. 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 All of them gang up on Sonic, killing him, was pretty much said. Until the first 10 minutes when we find out he's actually alive. You know what they did? They literally looked like they killed him off for 1 minute, and then told him that he was alive in 2 seconds. Legit. This game really couldn't do the whole fake character death for that long. And that's just what pisses me off. It just didn't want to try to do a whole fake out death, and I consider that a bit lazy. See? So Eggman's now pretty much taken over the fucking world, and apparently Silver can't do shit because it's no use apparently. See? So it's up to us. It's up to Tails, Sonic, Knuckles, and me, or pretty much my own character, to do the whole entire job. God, give me strength. Well, despite all that, we finally get our first boss battle. Chaos, one of the most deadliest threats in the old Sonic games, and everybody was pretty excited that Chaos was coming, so they had to give him some kind of good boss fight. So I'm pretty much excited to finally see how they make a good boss fight out of Chaos. Wait, really? Wait, that's it from Chaos? Chaos is just defeated like that? We never get to see Chaos again after this? This is when people thought this game was shit. Like, really? You guys hyped up Chaos returning, one of the most badass Sonic villains, and legit just fucked him off. You did him so dirty in this thing, more than Shockwave in Dark of the Moon. It it's impressive. It really is impressive how they just massacred him in just 2 seconds. Worst part is we're not getting a boss fight of him. That was pretty much our only appearance. The wow, just wow. Right, let's get on to another boss. Right, but the good news is we do get a boss fight. The first ever boss fight actually, Zavok. Now, as for someone who actually does not know these guys, it's the Deadly Six from Sonic Lost World, and I pretty much am a fan of these guys, especially when the redesigns. I will talk about the redesigns and why they are perfect, but right now let's talk about normal Zavok. And this is what made a lot of Sonic fans a little upset, like they gave the most forgettable villain a boss, but not the most memorable villain. Wow. But still, his boss fight's alright. It's nothing too big, yeah, nothing too special either. It definitely kept me intrigued. Well, that's all I'll say the least. It's definitely fair than what else this fucking game's got in store for us. But yeah, Zavok is pretty passable for easiness. Definitely I call him generic, and well, to be fair, he is the first boss. The worst part is, we're not going to see a boss from him again. This is his only boss. And I'm pretty sure Infinite has like fucking 2 of them. Not 2, 3. And I will get to Infinite later. He will be the last boss I'm reviewing. But let me talk about his first boss. Then I'll talk about the other bosses. So yeah. Okay, I think before we get to other bosses, I think it's time we talk about Infinite and why I do not like this character. Like, he is legit, like, don't get me wrong, his theme, his character design, fucking slaps. I like his design, I like his acting. The voice actor definitely gives out all of his all in this game, but I just do not like him. First of all, they completely, in the comics, he is a human, but a lot of people in the game are now telling us that he's a robot. But it just doesn't confuse. They can't choose between human or robot. That's what I do not like. Like, we do not know Infinite's origins. The only thing we know is what the game gives us. I don't even know the comics, so I can't tell Infinite's backstory much. But what they give us in backstories in here is fucking nothing for Infinite. Not to mention, in Shadow Store episode Shadow, it doesn't really help. It basically Shadow wins and calls Infinite weak, and that's what basically causes him to go into his whole villain arc. And I gotta say, that is a poor reason to tell us a villain. Even like in Mario games, they do explain the villain's backstory. In Yokai Watch, they explain a villain's backstory. This does not explain anything. It just shows Infinite as an asshole. Basically wanting power because, well, he was called weak. And I do not like that. That's a terrible way of showing it. But apparently in the comics, it does show his true backstory. I wish we got that in this actual game, that he's based off of, because, he's one of the main villains in this bit. But, to be fair, I do like his power when he uses it. It makes a whole bunch of deadliness. His first boss fight is basically what I consider Sonic Dash, pretty much. A Sonic Dash boss fight. And this is where I really want to get into how lazy they are at this bosses. Like, I'm going to talk about the other bosses in a minute, and I'll start off with one of them. Alright, here we go. Shadow the Hedgehog. The 2 hedgehogs finally bashing. We're about to get a fight. Is it too much to ask for an actual boss fight with a popular villain? They were really showing us another Shadow versus Sonic scenario, but now it's actually a Shadow must team up with Sonic duet. What is this game? That's not the worst part. I'm about to talk to Metal Sonic, and I'm gonna do Infinite's second boss and then his final boss, and you'll see how much I hate these fucking bosses. Let's talk about the one, the only, fake Sonic, Metal Sonic. Now, we do know that he is also possessed by the Phantom Ruby, which is not, so that we now pretty much know that all these characters are pretty much used up to be in the final battle. And here's why I hate this boss. You know how this boss looks familiar? Yeah, so pretty much is, what if we took Infinite's boss fight and changed it into just Metal Sonic? Yeah, this is why I hate the game, because it doesn't even try. Like, they literally just copied off Infinite's boss fight and then called it a day. He does the same, he does different shit though. However, he throws shit at you instead of actually, actually using powers to hit you. Don't give me that bullshit that he doesn't have powers, because they clearly give him powers to fight him. So Metal Sonic is pretty much a Sonic Rush villain battle again. If you really wanted to put these guys in, just put them in a fucking Sonic Rush. And Infinite's second boss fight. Here we go. Right, here we are. Next boss fight with Infinite. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, now, Infinite is really good, and I really don't like how it's talking to us, saying, because he let us live in the fight with him, causing us to be scared of him for some reason. And that's pretty much it. So now we're on our second boss fight with him, and let me just tell you, this is another good boss fight. That it's only because, it actually tries to be a boss fight, unlike Metal Sonic in his first fight. I should also talk about something too. What you're seeing now is that you use wisps as the weapons. So you want to know how to really beat this game easily? Well, it's simple. Use the flamethrower. You want to know why? Because that is the most broken weapon. All you have to do is hold the R2 button with the flamethrower and pretty much win. Nothing is getting in your way, and it's not stopping you. It will take Infinite's all of its health away, and this boss fight could be overdone in a jiffy. But since he actually likes a challenge, he uses the whip, which actually takes longer. So, you know what the worst part about the flamethrower is? It was the final weapon, but no, it's the very first weapon you unlock. And to me, I think that's just terrible. Terrible idea. Terrible choices. I do not recommend it. It is the flamethrower. If you're looking for an easy way out of this game, just use the flamethrower. But this is another good boss fight, and it's not as bad as I thought it was. I cannot say that for his final fight. Okay, here we go. The true final battle. This is Infinite's last boss fight, so let's see how they make his final boss fight worth it. And it is literally just the same as Metal Sonic and his first fight. Except they literally copy his input to... They really didn't give a fuck when making him, did he? They really didn't give a fuck about making the bosses, did they? I can only say there's fucking 4 original boss fights, and 3 of them are basically copied and paste Sonic Dash fights. Oh, you know what's sad? The boss fights fucking suck. I'm sorry. They're either really good or they're just like this, copied fucking generic. I had more fun playing fucking FNAF World than doing this. Let's just get to Eggman. Before I do, I want to talk about his first boss, because Jesus Christ, this is probably one of the goodest bosses. I love how this thing does and how it works. Like, it is so good. Like, it first off does an original of the Eggman's boss, and then after you defeat it, it becomes one of the crazier bosses, where he just now all of a sudden brings in a giant dragon mecha, and it's just, I really like this boss. It's so creative, and it actually makes Eggman threatening, and it is fun to actually get a boss that isn't just run down a hallway for 2 minutes and then win. And also you're playing as classic Sonic, so it really isn't that bad. I also do like how you throw rocks at him because he's so incompetent. And so yeah, let's get on to the true final boss about this game. Okay, so here we go, the final boss. We're finally about to end this. So apparently he's using the Phantom Ruby to make this giant robot, which is kind of cool. I'm sad that we have one piece of the Phantom Ruby and we do nothing with it. Could you imagine if we made like some kind of giant Sonic to fight with this thing? That would have worked. But no, we get pretty much a mix of all the characters. There's Classic Sonic, me, Classic Sonic, you, and Sonic. Working together in order to defeat this boss. It uses all the themes of the original. Then it uses that. Then he also like shoots missiles. It's embarrassing that this is actually the only good boss in the game, and nothing else. Like, Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, its final phase is literally just the running down a hallway. 5 times they used this fucking thing. I really do not like this. Like, what a shit way to end off the final battle. Wouldn't it be cool if we were all together and actually moving around instead of running down a fucking hallway? But, yeah, so sad. Alright, and in the end, all these phantoms finally go away, and they win the war. Thank God. And this game, you know what that means? This game will finally be over. And we're finally... Oh, and Omega was there. He didn't get much screen time. Yeah, you two are a thing. And, yeah, I'm very tired. I just want to, I'm skipping over this. I'm getting into... I'm getting to the fucking... Here we are. Alright. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna fucking put my thing in. So that was Sonic Forces. I did not like this game. This game is just terrible. There were some good elements to it, but it was mostly just fucking bad. I did not enjoy a single part of it. And, like, why? Like, it's just, there was no need. Like, the bosses were just half-asked. Like, they ran out of budget, so they had to copy and paste, like, 5 times of the bosses. And, yeah, pretty much that's it. Now, that's all I gotta say. What could possibly go wrong next?